Hey there folks, Santee at the Arizona Ghost Raiders here. Push daggers on the frontier. Let's check it out. When talking close combat scenarios, a few weapons stand out. One of them is the push dagger.
Today we're going to look at a beautiful example of the classic Indian dagger, the Katar. This is one of the more distinctive weapons in world history, because you can punch through armor, and this is what was used for the punching.
Although versions of this knife have been around for a long time, they seem to become mainstream around the 19th century. So, what is a push dagger? Well, it's a short knife in the shape of a T. The handle is meant to fit in your palm with the blade extending between your fingers. Politicians would conceal these during their workday. That makes sense. They were concerned about being a target then, and well, that hasn't changed. This was also a knife carried by gamblers. After winning big, passing by an alley was iffy at best, so being armed was necessary. San Francisco had its dangerous streets during the gold rush. So much money was flowing through that area, and it was thick with thieves. In addition, New Orleans was a popular push dagger town too. They were referred to as gimlet knives there. Maybe that's pronounced gimlet.
Oh, did they give us a nice packet of giblets?
Whatever. Riverboats were also known for having their high-rolling passengers come up missing.
A number of unfortunates have fallen overboard from these riverboats at night. Their bodies were never recovered. Pleasant sleep, sir.
Threat! Can I stab him now?
Also, saloons back then were not huge establishments. Add a drunken crowd and you've got all sorts of dangers. You might not have room to pull out your 10-inch buoy, but a push dagger would work just fine. Many of the existing examples I've found in my research are from Will and Fink, a company in San Francisco that produced gaming devices as well as cutlery. Concealing them is also interesting. Early models had clips on the scabbards that could attach on a waistcoat. Rings at the tip of some of the sheaths were for hanging them off a garment for easy access. Easy access is the key. Here to demonstrate techniques with push dagger is my 7th degree black belt brother Steve, and his equally deadly yet alluring wife, Linda.
Hi, everybody. My name is Steve Scott, and my brother Santee. Well, we don't call him Santee in the family. We call him something else. In fact, nobody really calls him Santee except for you guys.
I can't say welcome, can I, Santee?
Nope.
Anyway, he asked me to do a video on the employment of the push dagger and how I thought it might have been used back in the 19th century in the Old West. It's a very simple weapon, and it's not hard to figure out how they might have used it. Right in front of me are a bunch of weapons from my stash that are all related to push dagger as far as their tactical usage. They are all predicated on being used with natural punching or slapping actions of the hand, things that come second nature to us. Using the push dagger is very simple. You simply take it and insert it between the index finger and the middle finger of your hand, or the middle finger and the ring finger of your hand. I tend to prefer it that way. And then you just go to town and punch. How might it have been used? Well, when I look at this weapon, I think it's probably used by ne'er-do-wells as a tool of assassination. It'd be very easy to bushwhack somebody with this thing. You come up behind them, grab them by the collar, and then go to town with the knife. However, it could also be used as a defensive tool. Envision you're sitting at a card table. A guy across from you starts to pull a weapon. You trap his weapon hand, pull out your blade, and then employ it. That's one possible way. Now, riots weren't uncommon back in the 19th century, and if you were participating in a riot and had one of these, okay, you might just use it. This isn't ideal for knife fighting though, because given the knives of the era, like this Bowie knife, and this is a Bowie knife trainer, this has not got a whole lot of reach. It's possible to win, but this definitely gives you an edge. Okay, so one of the things they might have done in Ariat is do like modern Filipino martial artists do today and put the shorter blade in the non-dominant hand and then have the longer blade in the dominant hand. You put the longer blade in the dominant hand because it takes a little bit more coordination to be able to employ it. Whereas this, all you gotta do is punch with it. Now you might have a blade in your right hand, you might have some sort of cudgel, a truncheon, a club, an axe handle, a pick handle.
There's nothing like a nice piece of hickory.
And you might even have a pistol that you shot dry. It's not going to be a Glock pistol, but a single action arm. Okay, you got in a Donnybrook of some sort, you shot your pistol dry, and now you have a cudgel, a big piece of steel in your hand that you can punch with and strike with and come in with your push dagger.
Now, I've been wanting one of these for a long time, so when I found this one, I snapped it up. A carbon steel double-edged blade with a bone handle showing some hand forging marks. Yes, a longer style is available, but I dig this one.
As much as I love you, Tom, I just don't think you're right for the job. There we go.
The push dagger is still in use today. They can be found in various different styles with curved blades and serrated edges. Some even look like they would go well with a Klingon impression.
I do not fear war, Captain. I relish it.
Antique ones can be found and reproductions as well. If you're interested in mine or one similar to it, I've included a link where I got it in the description field below.
Whoa! Don't shoot.
The Old West events are going strong. If you find yourself in the vicinity of Wichita, Kansas on September 24th or 25th, I urge you to head on over to Old Cowtown Museum for their Wild West Days celebration. History, shows, barbecue, and vendors.
Who could ask for anything more?
If you're farther west that same weekend, head to Yermo, California for Calico Days and enjoy their fun-filled event. Another Wild West Days that I forgot to mention just finished up in Georgetown, Colorado. It was a success, so they'll be doing it again next year. If you live out west, please check your event calendars. There just may be a Western weekend in your neck of the woods.
All right.
Go at me like you're a martial artist, right? When you pick up that stick, you're gonna beat me like a pinata, right? Okay, great. When you pick up the knife, you're gonna cut me like a pumpkin. When you throw those punches, I want you to punch like there's no tomorrow. Oh!
Well, folks, that's it for another episode. Thanks for watching. And as always, please like, share, and subscribe.
And we'll see you on down the trail. And don't stab anybody.
I want you to go for it. Just choke me. Just choke me.
Choke you for real.
Yeah, go ahead.
Steve? You can edit that out, right?